Hello, I'm Jane Lee, Media Relations Manager for South West Trains, and I'd like to welcome you to Guildford Station. Lots of you have probably passed through Guildford, but I wonder how many of you realise what goes on behind the scenes. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to some of the people that make Guildford Station work.
I've been at Guildford now for 3 years, but I've been on the railway a lot longer. I started over at Aldershot as a clerk, worked my way up through the clerical grades, and then I moved to Staines as a station manager. Then I come back to this area as a station manager at Guildford. Approximately about 300 trains pass through just Guildford itself every day. They go London to Portsmouth is the main line. Then we've got also a line via Cobham which goes to London. We've got the cross-country line between Redhill, Gatwick and Reading, and the Ascot line as well. We've got the modern type of train, which is the Wessex. We've also got the Thames Turbos, which are new, but we go right down to the old ones, the slam door trains, which we run on the Ascot line and also the main line. Guildford is a very busy station. Approximately 11,000 people use the station every day. We've also got a large number of tenants on the station with such activities as dry cleaning, the buffets, which there are 3 of. There's also car hire, the bookstores, the florist on the station. But to run Guildford, because I'm not here all the time, there is a team of duty managers who work round the clock, who are first response at Guildford for all the emergencies and the day-to-day running. And also there's an area ticket office manager who runs the booking offices on the area, and he works for me around my area looking after the ticket offices. Then I've got the RO2s on the platform, the railmen who are in charge of each platform, dispatch the trains and clean trains. Then I've got a little team of cleaners, Mick and Jim, who look after all the cleaning on the station, everything from the toilets to the mess rooms. And then then also you've got the clerks in the ticket office and the travel centre, with shift leaders and the shift clerks as well.
The duty managers are 5 of the 40 staff who make Guildford run smoothly. Working around the clock, they make sure the station runs steadily, from looking after the customers' needs to making sure all facilities are available. They even deal with the inevitable problems of late-running trains.
I think I've been a duty manager just over 2 years now. Originally, I started as a railman in Aldershot. I think I came on the railway. It's about 9 years all told, 9-10 years that I've been on the railway. And then I sort of worked my way up from a railman to a leading railman to a chargeman, then as supervisor, and now we're classified as duty managers. We have different shifts. The early shift starts at 7 and we finish at 15:10. The late shift starts at 1500, finish at 23:10, and the night shift begins at 2300 until 0700. Sometimes it's easy, other times it's quite difficult. When we have problems like late running trains or train failures, etc., then it can be a bit difficult. I've got to find out why the train is late. Sometimes we do get the information pretty quickly, other times we don't. Pass the information on to all the people that need to know. We've got to make sure announcements are made, and it may be that people could travel on an alternative route. They're going to London or somewhere like that, because we have got several trains, about 7 trains an hour off peak that goes to London. So therefore we pass on the information. I could understand if they got a bit upset about late running trains, but I think once you pass the information on, and I think we're pretty good at doing that now, then most people are fine. Behind me we have the passenger information screen. We've got detail of all the trains for the day, also for the trains for tomorrow. We can actually call up any particular train, even the ones that have gone, and see if we want to know where they stop. We can do that. We can also call up tomorrow's information as well, and we can also alter the platforms, and basically that's what that does. It's actually controlled mainly by the station announcers. They're based in the signal box. We just got a sort of satellite system down here. Should in case anything goes wrong. Then we could actually operate from here. We can also make announcements as well. The other equipment we have here is the video cameras that's all over the station, the closed-circuit television cameras. In fact, Guildford and Woking are only 2 out of 6 station car parks in the old country that has won the AA Secure Car Park Award, which we are very proud of.
This year's Station of the Year competition looked particularly at the service offered to customers. And it was in this area that Guildford shone, with one judge stating, "Guildford Station has excellent customer service. The station is well signed and the colour scheme very pleasing. Overall, this is a very well run and cared for station, which is a credit to the staff." The judges also praised the frequency and clarity of station announcement, the VDUs, the staggered arrangement of ticket windows, the cleanliness of the toilets, the travel centre, and the planting in the car parks.
I'm here in Guildford's main booking hall, which is where most people will arrive. The first thing on most people's mind is to buy a ticket. Now, for many people, that'll just mean a trip to the ticket office, but for others planning to go further afield, it could mean a trip to the travel centre. In the travel centre, they can sell you anything from a sleeper ticket to Scotland, or even a ticket on the new Eurostar.
Well, basically our function is to relieve the queues in the ticket office. So, in other words, if somebody wants something fairly complicated, like a ticket that requires a reservation, or the times of the trains to somewhere, then they can come in here sooner than queuing up and holding up people who want just a day ticket next door. We can book sort of all the long distance intercity tickets, Apex, Super Advanced and so forth, and we've got the computers to be able to do that. You can also electronically find out the times of the trains, although some of us prefer to use the timetables like me. We're the only station in this area that can do continental rail travel, so we can do between London and all the main European cities, plus most internal journeys on the continent, and that would include the boat reservations or jet foils or whatever. You get asked a lot of things like coach and air inquiries in here, which you don't deal with, but our best one is being asked for a cup of coffee, how much a cup of coffee was, but we were able to find some trade for the buffet for them.
Celebrating its 150th anniversary in May, Guildford has a long history. Until the mid-60s, the station was the major steam depot in the area, with sheds housing the locomotives which pulled passenger trains to destinations such as Portsmouth, Redhill, Tonbridge and Horsham, and freight to the West Country. By the late 80s, the station was beginning to show its age, and was given a complete rebuild, with the station we see today opened by the Bishop of Guildford in December 1989. At the front line of customer care is John Downs, whose job is to help with the elderly, disabled, and those who have queries about which train to catch and from which platform to catch it.
Well, basically what we're here for is to look after the customers, and we look after disabled people and the elderly, and we try to provide them a very good service, because a lot of them can't go too far with their luggage, and we help with their luggage, and we talk to them as well, and we just like to be here to make them smile and be happy and talk to us, and it goes a long way when you talk to the elderly. The people I've met here, I've met many friends, and there's one particular chap who I met as a musical director, and about 5 years ago he asked me to join his TV Times marathon team, and at first I went, oh no, I've never run any long distance in my life before, and no, I run all over the world for charity. We've done New York and Athens and Berlin and Switzerland and Venice. We're going to Boston next year, and we raised lots of money for leukemia research, and the South West Trains this year for the London Marathon are going to sponsor me as well. But we're still negotiating a price, so I'm working on that one. In my hand here I have one of my sponsor forms, and what I do, I give all my passengers one of my sponsor forms here, and they fill them in, they give generously. Now I normally raise a couple of £1,000 each time I run a London Marathon, so they're very fair and friendly.